Hi, I'm Mike, and you're watching Spiritual Combat. And the title of today's show is The Most Important Lesson That Kids Are Never Taught. Okay? And maybe most kids are never taught. From time to time, you find kids that are taught this lesson, but what I've run into, what I experienced growing up, my wife, what she experienced growing up, and what the majority of other people I run into have experienced growing up is most kids are never taught or never shown, never see the proper role of a man and of a woman. A majority of times, kids growing up, they'll be in a home where the woman is running everything and the man is just kind of is passive and cowers down. And what I've seen is this one of the most important lessons that kids need to see. They need to see the proper example of a masculine role in the house. A man who's a leader, he's assertive, he's drawing the boundaries, he's guiding and directing the family. A woman who is submissive, passive to the man's authority, and lets that man lead and supports him and love, honors, and obeys that man, as is clearly laid out in the Bible. And because this isn't what is shown and taught and demonstration, the most important, this isn't what the child sees in the household when they grow up, whether a child be male or female. When they grow up, what do they see? They see a man, they end up growing up being this man who can't understand why he can't attract the right women, and they end up going through all these relationship problems, breakups, divorces. You see a lot of men who get their career established, all that, get everything going good, get in a relationship and get destroyed. Same thing with women. You see women coming up, going after careers, they get in this relationship. It's the wrong, they choose the wrong man. Some man who's passive ends up cheating on them. You name it, there's a myriad of. And then I've met men who were raised, who were shown the proper model, and they don't have relationship problems. They're in long-term marriages. Their finances aren't screwed up because they've been in this long-term relationship. They understand how to properly deal with their woman. So it's imperative to, in your household, if you're the man and your woman's ruling over you, to step up. And if you just got to argue with her all the time and whatever the pain you got to go through to get back in that position of authority that the Bible puts you in, whatever it takes to get there, it's imperative that you get back in that role. And it's imperative that your woman learns that she has to get in her role, okay, and get in that biblical role that the Bible lays out for us to be in as men. It's going to benefit your children in the long term. I watch people harping on, oh, the children got to learn, don't steal and talk nicely and play kindly and all this stuff. And the most important thing that's going to destroy these kids is relationships. That's where Satan always attacks. What was the first thing he attacked in the book of Genesis? Was the relationship. So, and what I always say, I don't care what you got going on. At the end of the day, the responsibility lies on you, the man. Now I know the media always tries to put it on you as the man, but they try to do it in a different, disempowering way. But I'm saying, you as a man, you need to step up and do whatever it takes to take your house back in control. You need to become you need to step in that position of authority. Okay. And like one of the scriptures I use is like, y'all told them, when you go into that promised land, it's yours, but you got to take it. This is what you got to do to take that land back. Well, it's the same thing. You've been feminized and made passive by this society. You've been brainwashed by this society to be passive, and you have to take that back. and it's an uphill battle. The odds are against you. But look, if you're a black man in the U.S. and you watching this video and you still breathing, you done overcome the odds in doing that. So this is just another step. And a lot of people are counting on you to step up and get in this position. You know, people are, your kids are counting on you to do that, because when they see that, it's going to make a world of difference. Like, I went 30 something years with bad programming and going through the pain of not having the right identity. You know, it was like a 30-year detour going off the path and having to get back on it and figure out who I was to, boom, here I am now, 40, 41. I got my house in order. You know, I got a good woman who supports me and all that. And that's a big part of, you know, that's a huge thing that your children have to see, so that they don't repeat the relationship disaster and disasters that I had to go through growing up. It's imperative that you get your house in order as a man. And if you're a woman and your man is passive and you keep stepping up and doing stuff, you're doing yourself, you're doing your man a disservice, you're doing your kids a disservice, because they got to see that. That's way, they say, oh, don't talk bad, don't curse in front of your kids. Dude, being a passive man in front of your kids is way worse than cursing in front of them. I mean, you could teach a kid to stop cursing pretty quick, but when their whole mindset on how to deal with a woman is messed up, or if you're a woman, how to deal with a man, when their whole mindset on that is jacked up, you are setting them up for a painful life. So this is imperative. So if you're a woman and, oh, well, he don't step up, so I got to step up. No, you need to just back off, encourage him to lead, humble yourself down, encourage him to lead, and just back off. And hey, if some things end up getting screwed up, if it's not a safety issue or something like that, let it get screwed up. Let him learn to start walking like he needs to walk. But, you know, and that's a book. I mean, it says, what did it say about Deborah? It was talking about Abraham, that she respected him as the Lord, or as unto the Lord. Like, the stuff it says in the Bible is like some of the verses I bring up about, you know, male-female relationships. At this day and age, somebody who's not in the word, you got to go, you laugh at it because it's so upside down. That's how you know Satan is behind this brainwashing, because it's directly opposite the Bible. The men are not ruling and leading in the house, and the women, the men are not ruling and leading. The men are passive, and the women are assertive and aggressive and drawing boundary lines and all that. You know that's Satan. It's so subtle and deceptive, but it's completely opposite what's in the word. So this is something that kids need to see, you know, need to be taught. It needs to be lived out. Otherwise, your kids are going to get into relationships and they're going to be struggling too. Okay. So anyway, I'm Mike. You're watching Spiritual Combat, and have a nice day.